Why you feel stuck even when you're doing everything right. You're not broken, and you need to stop self-attacking this persona. We're going to close those shame loops in this episode, and I want you to give me 15 minutes of your time so we can reinvent this story. So welcome to Manifesting Miracles. My name is Michelle Juanita Lamont, and today we are going to understand why you feel stuck even when you're doing everything right. This episode isn't because for somebody who is broken in every single way, you're really not understanding yourself, because stuck doesn't mean stagnant. It often means misaligned. You're trying and you feel stuck. You're learning and you feel stuck. You're showing up and you still feel stuck. You're successful and you still feel stuck. You're not successful and you feel stuck. This isn't about money. This isn't about relationships. This isn't about shame. This is about understanding why this is happening, because self-blame is what happens when effort doesn't equal safety. And so I work with women and men and people, he, she, they, them, people, however you identify, all day long, as a coach, as a speaker, as a manifesting expert and energy expert. Every single day I'm with clients. I'm either speaking in groups, giving informational videos, creating workshops, or working with one-on-one clients. And it doesn't matter whether they are like me, live in a house all by themselves with nobody supporting them but themselves. They have a good time. They love their pets. They have their friends. They don't have anybody else in the home with them, a significant partner. And yet the world looks at them like they're successful, but they feel stuck. Being financially independent or having resources doesn't mean that you're happy. And not having resources doesn't mean that you're unhappy. And so when we look at this idea of feeling stuck, like I'm doing everything right, but I still feel stuck. Excuse me. I want to answer these questions because in your mind, you're probably saying, I should be further along. Further along for what? I live in a house that some people would consider like a dream house. It's my dream. I don't know how long I'll live here, but I love it, right? Because the dream might change, all right? And then some might say, oh, well, you have financial stability. Okay, that's great. You have your whole house to yourself. You can come and go as you please. Yeah, true. You have a nice friend group. It's true. I've never had better friends in my life. All of that is true, and I still tend to feel stuck. Meaning, like, I can't say that I feel lonely because I'm alone. I have so much peace and I have so much contentment, but there are times when I'm like, am I stuck? Am I stagnant? And so this process happens to all different types of lifestyles. So it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're in a broken relationship, whether you're in the bad job, whether you don't talk to your children, or you wish you had a better relationship with your children, or you don't have children. Anything, all of those things are making you shame loop the life that you have instead of being celebrated, instead of being excited about it. So let's change that perspective, because you might be questioning yourself and saying, I should be further along. Further along to what? Okay, something's wrong with me. There's something wrong with everybody if you start to judge everybody. Okay. You are either in your authentic energy or you're not. You're either in your frequency of vibration or you're not. And the goal is to understand when we're not and when we are, so we can be better attuned to when we're in alignment and when we're out of alignment. But when we compare ourselves to other, it just leads to self-blame. And comparison, according to Buddha, is the thief of joy. You were all happy until you looked over the fence. You were all happy until you heard from your best friend who just landed her first 100K commission, or got a TED talk that you wanted and you don't have yet. Or maybe it's something even smaller in your world, or different in your world that might make you feel unseen and unheard and unvalidated. But the reason that you feel like that is because you haven't regulated your nervous system and you're comparing yourself to a life you have no idea what is happening. And so you can't outwork a nervous system that doesn't feel safe. There's no, and then you get into the loop of scheduling your day. So then you're like, oh, let me just put 50,000 things on my schedule. that doesn't work either, because you're just keeping busy. You're not actually moving and you're not actually growing. You're actually just moving the food around on the plate. You're in survival mode and you're over functioning. Your quantum identity is lagging. You don't really believe the version that you want to become, and therefore it cannot manifest. So when I say you can't outwork a nervous system that doesn't feel safe, it's because you haven't actually acknowledged that you're still in survival mode, because progress isn't always forward. Sometimes progress is downward, and that downward is to shift into safety. And I know that I teach this all the time to my one-on-one coaching clients. I teach this in my workshops. I teach this in my community, Manifesting Miracles Academy, because pausing isn't quitting. Pausing is regrouping. Pausing is understanding. Pausing is taking a really quick and long, hard look, not a quick, but a long, hard look at your situation and understanding, where do you really identify and where do you not? Where do you see yourself pushing yourself into an identity that isn't real for you? Meaning, I'm successful, but every day you're in a job that disrespects you. You're in a relationship that disrespects you. You're in relationships with people, your family, your friends, people in your community, people at your children's schools, whatever it is. You're in all these different situations in which you don't hold your boundaries. You don't show people what you really believe about yourself, because you quantumly haven't identified as that particular quantum identity. So the lag is there. So therefore, progress means that we need to slow things down. We need to regulate. And in order to regulate, you have to understand where are your stressors and what's going well. This isn't about judgment. This isn't about saying, oh my gosh, you've done so many things bad. You're such a bad person. That is a shame loop that you're used to, because you're in survival, because your brain doesn't know any different, because you don't know how to shift out of that energy. And so that frequency then becomes the number one thing that moves everything in your life. And so in order for you to have that opportunity for you to evolve and for you to grow, the integration of motivation must be key. Okay. So then you have to shift, and you have to shift the internal talk and reframe the shame. Okay. Listen to me. You have to reframe the shame. You have to reframe the shame. Okay. So first thing that you can do in order to start understanding this is name it. Just like on the Housewives, when Kyle was talking to the Southern chick, Sutton, and she's like, and Kyle's like, well, you're an alcoholic, and she's like, name it. And she's like, well, you do this. She's like, name it, name it, name it. I want you to name every single thing that you feel shame for, that you are quantumly not seeing as the identity in which you want to collaborate with. Name it. And then I want you to see how your world is actually a lot better and a lot bigger than you give it credit for. So then what I want you to do is take the objective that you have, and I want you to shrink it into a bite-sized opportunity. Why? Your brain can't process that you want to be a millionaire, or you want to be successful, or that you want to have all this money, because you're not actually quantum identifying as that, because you're still stuck in survival and you haven't regulated. So the quantum ID is over here, but your reality is here and your mind is over here, and we need to get you somewhere in the middle. And so if you start to think about the objectives about what you want as smaller things, so let's say that we want more financial freedom. So what is one way we could identify as somebody who is financially free? And then start to take those and create anchor stability actions towards those things. So let's say we're going to be financially free. All right. Somebody who's financially free doesn't wake up and think, I can't afford this, or I hope my daughter doesn't need shoes, or God, I hope I can afford car insurance. All those, that might be a truth for you in this reality right now that you're experiencing. It's only because that's what you identify as. And I know it sounds very odd to say that, but I'm going to tell you right now, one of the best techniques that you can do is start saying every single day, all of the things that you already identify as in that quantum ID. So we're going to name it. We're going to shrink it down to a bite-sized tangible item, and then we're going to anchor it in stability. So if you woke up and you're like, okay, I'm financially stable, but yesterday you woke up and you were feared about your car payment, or you're worried about, whatever expense, or maybe you can't take a vacation, or, whatever it is that's going on in your reality, whether it's money or not. In this example, I'm going to use money. So money is just an energy, and it's over emphasized because we always want to attack ourselves. We always want to shame loop. We always want to believe there's something wrong with us. But really, we just haven't allowed all of the echoes of the former realities to quell in order for us to sink in and anchor into the quantum identity in which we are abundant all the time. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going to be a multimillionaire. What it means is that you have the ability to now co-collaborate with the universe to see your reality change. And so if you wake up and you say, man, money is just always in love with me, it's obsessed with me, and you have to, affirmations don't work until you do the other work. So you really want to use neuroplasticity affirmations, meaning that they're anchored in action. And if you want some examples of that, join Manifesting Miracles Academy. We have a whole list of anchoring affirmations for different categories that help you do it. And the first month of my community is always free. And then another thing that you need to do is regulate. So right now, you're so stressed out because this is a crazy time to live on Earth. But also remember, you signed up for this, so there's a plan for you to get out of it. You're just not moving the board. You're not moving your energy, and you're reliving your Groundhog's Day fears over and over and over and over again. So one of the things that you need to start doing is when you go to sleep, listen to subliminal frequencies. Cephalio frequencies work great. Subliminal frequencies work great, even a hypnosis. So I have a hypnosis series that you can listen to every single night. It changes every single month based on numerology, portals, astrology, and what's going on in the planet. So January, all of the hypnosis in that series are about resetting, recollecting, and re-energizing. February is about love, et cetera, and with our super moons. And so this is a hypnosis series that I've recorded that you can do every single night to recalibrate your brain. It's $11 a month, in or out. You can try it once, see if you like it. If you don't, okay, dip out. A year is $99, and you will literally get a hypnosis every single night. It changes every single week. It's an amazing program. And if not, if you're in my community, Manifesting Miracles Academy, which is absolutely free the first month, because I want you to feel secure with me, and I want you to test it out and see if this is your jam, because it is. We have an audio series class that is included in your membership. Now, remember, the first month is free, so you can look around and try everything out, look at all the resources. And then the audio class is included in the and the membership, if you stay, is $20. It's $22 a month. So it's like $5.25 a week to change your life. You'll get 3 workshops, but most importantly, you'll learn how to regulate your nervous system. You'll learn how to write things the right way. You'll learn how to process portals. You'll understand community. You'll be around people who see you, hear you, understand you, and appreciate you. In our classes and in our workshop, everything is about moving us to a place where we are stable, where we feel confident, where we feel comfortable. And so right now we have an audio series that you can listen to. It's an audio workshop every single month at the first of the month about regulating your nervous system, and you can listen to it every single day if you want to. I also have meditation banks. So if you don't know what to listen to and you go to YouTube and you get confused, you can just come right into MMA. So what does this mean for you? All right. So when you feel stuck, even when you're doing everything right, because you haven't rewritten the story in your head, you haven't separated that success is not the end all be all of everything. It's regulation, it's stabilization of your energy, of your mind, heart coherence. And I want to help you understand that. So first, we're going to name it. Second, we're going to shrink it down. And third, we're going to anchor it into something tangible. So let's end with those 3 steps. So first we would name it. All right. I really want to buy a new house, or I want to buy an investment property. I want to buy a car. I want to buy a car for my kid. I want to take a vacation. Just name it. All right. Whatever it is. So now we've named it. Now let's shrink it down. So let's pick one of those. Car for my kid. All right. So let's say that you wanted to buy a car for your child, or your cousin or your niece, or donate it to charity, whatever it is. Let's start with the car. Okay. That sounds like it's expensive. We've named the desire. Now let's shrink it down to a bite-sized portion. Okay, we're not talking about a Lamborghini. I mean, I would not be buying a Lamborghini for somebody as a gift. I would probably be buying them a Taurus or a Honda or a Civic, something that I know is reliable and would last a long time. That would be low maintenance for them. All right, so let me shrink it down to that size. Do I need $44,000 today? No. I might need a $5,000 down payment, and maybe to understand the monthly payment a little bit more. Maybe I need to get some money to put down. Maybe I need to buy a car in cash. Maybe it's a car that's, a $15,000 car, or $10,000 car, and I need to just pay for it in cash. Well, shrink that down to what you really could do. If you think, extend yourself a little bit to bring in a $300 or a $400 a month of payment, well, that's very different than $40,000. And if you wanted to buy a car outright in cash, coming up with $10,000 is very different than having to come up with $44,000 or being on the line for $44,000. So then how do we anchor that in? All right. So let's say the goal is to give them this car by their 16th birthday, and they're 15 now. And so you have a year to stabilize. What is it about you that doesn't believe that you can't call in $40,000 or $10,000? Money is just energy. So you haven't quantum identified as somebody who can call that in and successfully be a gift giver of that amount. And so you have to regulate, you have to pause, you have to get into a place where your brain and your energy feel safe. And I hope at the end of the day that your 6-figure, 7-figure, or whatever figure life that you're trying to manifest is just a quantum shift and not an identity reset. But whatever it is, I'm here for you. My community is here for you. This podcast is here for you. We have a lot of resources, but most importantly, you cannot continue to live the life that you're currently living and expect anything to change. You can't. And if you want something different, then you have to be something different. You have to identify. You have to do practices. You have to live. You have to take action. And if you don't know where to start with me. Every Tuesday, I have a 10-minute free session. Maybe we find the right digital course. Maybe we find the right workshop. Maybe it's just joining my community. Maybe it's doing one-on-one container work. Maybe it's a book I think you should read. Whatever it is, we will work on it and figure it out. But until you decide that this life isn't broken and you're not broken, you're always going to look to fix something that isn't broken. You're just out of alignment. And that, my friends, is not you being stuck. It's you being misunderstood. You don't understand who you are, and you don't understand how powerful your life is about to become. But if you join my community, I'm going to help you tap in. I'm going to help you remove. I'm going to help you regulate, and I'm going to help you co-collaborate with the universe in a way that makes you feel safe, that makes you feel abundant, and that makes you feel celebrated. I love you. All I have is love. Even if you don't love me, even if you don't like me, even if you don't like me because I'm Latina and I'm Colombian, maybe because I'm a first generation American, whatever it is. Maybe it's because I'm a Life Path 9 and a Scorpio. I don't know. But I don't have any animosity towards anyone ever. Even the people that I dislike and disagree with, I still hold in tension that they're a child of the Creator. And so if we can hold that much love and intention for our enemies, what should we be doing for ourselves? I want to teach you how to regulate. I want to teach you how to love. I want to teach you how to expand. I want to teach you the pillars of what it takes to co-collaborate with the universe to create your dream life. Because the universe doesn't need anything more from you. It actually needs less. All right. My name is Michelle Juanita Lamont. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Please, if you're watching on YouTube, drop a comment and share. It would really matter. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, please, please, please drop down and give me a review. It really helps our podcast grow. And most importantly, join Manifesting Miracles. We have so many exciting workshops coming up, and you don't want to miss out and take another year of living at the same Groundhog's Day that you've been living. All right, producers, cue that music. Let's close with everything before the producers come in. Everything, me, and then us. 3, 2, 1. Everything is always working out for us. Everything is always working out for us. Everything is always working out for us. Me. Again, everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. Me. All right, manifestors, it is time for you to listen to another episode and another episode and join MMA. Come on in. The temperature's time, and it is time for you to quantum leap, regulate, and learn how big you can be. To manifest your miracles starts right here, right now. Okay, producers, cue that motherfucking music. Mwah.